So we are going to start with the 4 rules of gun safety. Treat every firearm as if it was loaded. And the way I was taught is all guns are loaded all the time. Unless you physically check the gun every time it is loaded. If someone ever hands you a gun and says it's clear, do not trust them. The gun is always loaded. Always treat all guns that are loaded. We'll go through that more in a second. Never point a gun at anything you are not willing to destroy or kill. Loaded, unloaded, don't ever point a gun at anything that you are not willing to destroy. Trigger discipline are keep your finger off the trigger. Always keep your finger off the trigger and out of the trigger guard at all times. Until you are ready to fire, until you are on target and ready to fire, keep your finger off that trigger and out of the trigger guard. Another thing is it says to make sure of your target and what's behind it. It's very important to know, I mean, if you're shooting at a target, you can obviously see it. It's also very important to know what's behind it. You don't want to be shooting off into the woods, you know, at a target and, you know, the bullet go another quarter mile, 2 miles down the road and hit something that you did not want to hit, or a person or somebody's house. Always know what's beyond your target. So we're going to start with just getting your gun out of the box. So most likely you're just going to take it out of the box, and it's going to be wrapped in plastic or something, and most likely it's going to come just like this. Most of the time, you know, your gun will probably come with the magazine already in it. If it's in the box, I think it's coming in. If it's coming in a plasticky box, a lot of times they take them out. But either way, this is some real basic things you need to know. Whenever you pick up a firearm, don't ever do this. Don't put your finger in there. Always grab it with your finger straight. I always put my finger straight like this first. And then I grab the gun. Always keep your finger up here, whether it's a revolver, a pistol, or rifle. Always keep your finger up here until you're ready to fire that weapon. We're not ready to fire. We just got the weapon out of the box and we need to make sure that it's clear. It will be clear, but we always need to make sure, because these are building, this is building the way that you're going to train yourself to always be safe, because I cannot stress safety enough. You need to be safe. Guns are very powerful and dangerous, and you don't really get second chances with guns. You can't have negligent discharge. You can't accidentally fire a gun. People say guns, oh, it accidentally went off, or it just went off. No, guns don't do that. They are accidentally or unintentionally fired. And what I'm trying to show you is how not to do that ever. So be safe. Take your time. If you're ever not sure, then just stop and think. Stop and think. So once again, we'll always pick up our gun like this. Finger straight around here. We will always point it in a safe direction. We're assuming that that is downrange right now. If we're at a gun range or something, we don't want to be pointing off over here or over here. We want to be pointing downrange and maybe down like that a little bit if possible. So the first thing we're going to do is clear the weapon. Make sure the weapon's clear. So we're going to drop the magazine. We're going to push this button right here. and you can just let the magazine pop out. You can catch it if you want. You can catch it if you want, like that. You can just let it drop out. Most of my mags, I don't care if they drop out. This one, I don't care if it drops out, gets dirty on the floor, I don't care. There's a couple of them that I do, but that's a different story. So we'll just let that drop out. This little button right here, that is your slide lock or slide release, depending on how you want to look at it. The first thing you want to do is grab the gun like this, grab the top of the gun like this, and with this hand, push. With this other hand, grab it like this on the top and pull it back and push that little button up while you do it. And that will lock the slide. The slide is locked open. Now you can physically look in there and see there is nothing in there. You can stick your finger in there and do that if you want to. On this particular gun here, I always push up on there if I stick my finger in there ever, because this gun, it's pretty, I mean, that would hurt. So anyway, just make sure that it's clear there. There's nothing in the chamber. You can put your finger in there and look. You can look down through the mag well, make sure there's nothing in there, because we just take your time and be safe. Now the gun is cleared and it's safe. So we'll just go through that again. When you get your firearm, most likely it will be in the box. You will take it out of the box. You will pick it up without your finger in the trigger guard ever. You will bring it over here. It will always be pointed in a safe direction, and you're in your house. I always try to point down. I know that the gun's not loaded, but like I said, guns are always loaded until you look in there. That's how accidents happen, and they're deadly accidents. And so be safe. Push the button, let the mag drop. Right? Grab the slide. Push with this hand. Pull with this hand. Kind of cup it like that. They call it a train, like a train. They say like that. Pull it back like that. Hold the slide release up until it sticks. And you look in there, and it's clear. We'll just work on clearing that now, and once you figure out how to do all that, then we'll go to the next step.